like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Diorpop. Have you ever experienced a moment so quiet, yet it felt like the loudest thing in your heart? The new year is usually welcomed with fireworks, cheers, and overwhelming excitement. Crowded places, loud laughter, dramatic countdowns. But that night, on the delicate edge between 2025 and 2026, felt entirely different. It wasn't noisy. It wasn't chaotic. And maybe that was exactly why it felt so real. A simple live stream began. No grand setup. No dramatic announcements. Just two people sitting close to each other. Soft smiles appeared naturally. Eyes met for just a second longer than necessary. Small gestures, almost invisible if you weren't paying attention. Yet for those who watched closely, every second carried weight. And then a tiny detail happened. One moment so subtle that it made countless armies pause, rewind, and whisper quietly to themselves. Wait, is Jungkook holding Jimin's phone? That night wasn't about proving anything. It wasn't about bold statements or loud confessions. It was about the smallest moments, the kind that feel more honest than any words ever could. Moments that don't scream for attention, but linger in your heart long after. So let's go back to that night, and feel it together. The new year always brings hopes, quiet wishes, and dreams waiting to be fulfilled. And for BTS, the arrival of 2026 felt warm, intimate, and deeply personal. That feeling was captured perfectly in the final live stream of 2025, especially through the gentle, effortless interactions between Jimin and Jungkook. From the very beginning, the atmosphere felt different. There were no exaggerated reactions. No forced energy. Just calm, steady warmth flowing between them as naturally as breathing. Jungkook sat beside Jimin, his attention constantly drawn toward him. Every time Jimin spoke, Jungkook listened, not just politely, but fully. As if nothing else in the room mattered. Time seemed to slow. Every smile Jimin gave felt like a quiet invitation. Every small laugh lingered a little longer. Jungkook's eyes followed him instinctively, unconsciously, as if drawn by something familiar and safe. As the final minutes of 2025 approached, Jungkook gently suggested that Jimin stand on a certain side so the camera angle would look better. His tone was soft, casual, protective without being obvious. Jimin nodded immediately, smiling, trusting Jungkook's judgment without hesitation. Jungkook's response was a small smile. Simple. Satisfied. Full of meaning. It was the kind of smile that said, "I'm comfortable because you're here." Their conversation flowed easily. They talked about the simplest things. Phone stands sold on YouTube, the approaching countdown, random details about zodiac signs and manhwa that only a few people would remember. Nothing groundbreaking. Yet everything felt special because it was shared between them. When Jimin mentioned the year of the Black Dragon, Jungkook listened closely. His gaze never wandered. His attention never wavered. There was admiration there, quiet, sincere, impossible to fake. The kind of tenderness that doesn't need to be explained. And then came that moment. So small. So fleeting. The moment that made armies hold their breath. Wait, is Jungkook holding Jimin's phone? At first glance, it was easy to miss. But once you noticed it, you couldn't unsee it. Jimin's phone was supposed to be on his left side. Yet when the moment came, he didn't reach for it. There was no hesitation. No searching. As if he already knew it wasn't there. As if he already knew it was safe. Then suddenly, Jungkook stumbled slightly. Just a small sway, almost playful, before he steadied himself. And right after that, the phone appeared at his side. Did it fall from Jungkook's jacket pocket? Or had he been holding it the entire time? There was no clear answer. And perhaps that uncertainty was what made the moment feel so powerful. Because sometimes, the truth isn't found in logic, but in feeling. There was something deeply gentle in the way Jungkook handled that phone. It wasn't careless. It wasn't rushed. It was careful. Protective. as if the object itself mattered, simply because it belonged to Jimin. In that second, it stopped being about a phone. It became about trust, about comfort, about an unspoken understanding that didn't need words. Without saying anything, Jungkook seemed to communicate one simple message. I've got it. It's safe. Moments like this are easy to overlook. But for armies who pay attention, they are everything. Because Jungkook didn't need to announce his care. He showed it, instinctively, quietly, naturally. To some people, this might seem like nothing. Just a coincidence. Just a random interaction blown out of proportion. But those who truly watch know better. Because this wasn't an isolated moment. It was consistent. It was familiar. And it felt real. And then there was another detail, one that added even more warmth to the picture. Just days earlier, Jimin had casually posted a photo taken using Jungkook's backup phone. Such a simple fact. Yet filled with meaning. Using someone's personal phone isn't trivial. It means trust, comfort, a shared personal space where boundaries dissolve naturally. Especially in a world where every move is watched, every detail analyzed. Choosing to share something so personal felt genuine. Not staged. Not forced. Just two people who are used to sharing, without thinking twice. Their interaction continued with playful warmth. When a message about drinks arrived, Jimin cheerfully called out in Busan dialect, "Yeah, bring it." His voice light, playful. Jungkook responded immediately, no hesitation, no confusion. Just understanding. It was such a small moment. Yet it spoke volumes. Because it showed how naturally they moved around each other. How easily they understood each other's rhythms. As the final minutes of 2025 slipped away, their conversation grew even softer. They talked about long journeys, exhausting schedules, and life after Jimin's military service. Jungkook listened patiently, nodding gently, smiling often. He gave Jimin space to speak, to reflect, to exist comfortably beside him. When Jungkook stumbled again, this time more cutely than clumsily, Jimin reacted instantly. He reached out, helping him steady himself, checking if he was okay. No words needed. Just instinct. Care answered care. The seconds before the new year felt almost magical. Jungkook sat in front. Jimin beside him. Their shoulders nearly touching. The distance between them barely existed. Then the countdown began. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Happy New Year. Their voices blended together, soft, sincere, hopeful. And in that moment, surrounded by celebration and unseen fireworks, Jungkook leaned toward Jimin. They smiled at each other, sharing a warmth that needed no explanation. No performance. No script. Just presence. And just like that, 2026 arrived. They never clarified anything. They never needed to. Because some things aren't meant to be explained. Some things are meant to be felt. In silence, in closeness, in the smallest acts of genuine care. This new year wasn't just about turning a page on the calendar. It was about trust, warmth, quiet love. The kind that doesn't demand attention, yet shines the brightest. Thank you for watching and feeling this moment with us at Diorpop. If you felt the warmth too, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Because moments like these deserve to be remembered and felt again and again.